everyone. I didn't expect to see so many people, but it's great to have you all here. So I will just kind of explain what I'm doing. You have seen the collages, and the collages are showing my love for nature. That's basically because as a lot of people here already know, I love walking. And under my walking, I will take lots of pictures. So the photos I use for the collages. And the first collage that you see is after a trip I made, the first trip into the desert of Australia. And so I'm constantly looking for a way to use the photos, but so that you still can see the landscape as well. Like this one as well. These are quite small. So I took also some nature pictures because then you can see that the landscape in Australia is really that red and beautiful. And this is actually a painting. So also with my paintings, I started to form them into collages. This is another. The nature in Australia is quite amazing. And so after that, I went back to Europe and now go every year to Europe to do the walks. And I do walk a lot in Spain. And in Spain, I discovered the old Roman roads that I walk, and there is a lot of them actually, and they are used as pilgrim routes. And on these routes, you see a lot of also ruins and old Roman roads that are pretty straight, and you walk forever into that landscape. And with these collages, I still wanted to show as much as I could from, say, the photo. So I kept it. I only have 2 pieces here, but that's. So that's going to change. And I, every time when I go to an artist in residence, which I do now already for, I think. Almost 9 years, and these are opportunities for me to change my work and to try different materials, because also you can't bring everything, so you're restricted with what you can use very often, and this brings you very often to new ways of working with the photos. I do always bring the big photos that I've made a year before. And then I started to experiment to get more depth into the collages. So here I start to put the photos in water. And then I started to experiment with different materials in water. And this is, we have paper bark trees in Australia, and they have many layers of very thin, kind of it's very thin paper. And so and aluminium is always works really well underwater with the sun on it. And so then I put the photos in. And these ones are, I print them on 50 by 50 on D-bond, so you can just straight hanging them on the wall. But, so this is a new form for me for collages, to make collages. And this one is actually in this exhibition. So I used the photo of the underwater. And this is a whole book I made, and this is for an exhibition in Lecce.
A Lecce ha fatto una mostra.
Splendid.
So this is in the exhibition. So these are the photos that you saw in the collages, and so I've made these photos on a beach, and I have this big photo of Siena, and I looked for the same colors on the beach, and I found it on on Santorini. I was there, and there you have red lava sand, and it's very unusual. And the colors were so much, you know, they blended in so well. So I have this photo floating in and out of the sea, and I have many photos of it, and it's really, for me, it's very interesting, the form that the photo takes, and how it gets stuck and then float away again. So here you can see
La girata. Così.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. So that's what happens with the photo. And this is also a photo of a photo with a stone in the sea, but here I have I've put it on the iPad, and I'm working now with iPad Pro, and you can completely transform it again. So there are endless possibilities to create something new, and it's all a new medium for me at the moment. This is one of the collages that I've made, and you can also then make it, of course, how do you call that? Change the colors completely from negative to positive and different. And these ones, this is the ones that I did here in the. So it's also interesting then to use the same photos and then put them into an all new kind of composition. Is it the same one? And so I also brought some canvases. So mostly I work on paper, but this I brought some canvases, pieces that I had left over, and started to work with the materials I had here. And one of the things was a spray can, and I've never used a spray can before, but I thought it was quite interesting because you can then make different layers again of the spray can, and you can see the rope also. So it's a kind of a constant development to look for something new. something that actually works. And what I also do on the, that's my latest project that I actually work on at home, is I call them roupas abandonadas, so the lost clothes. I have on these walks, I always found lost clothes, and they are beautifully kind of in the sand or on a path or hanging somewhere. And I started to make pictures of them, and then I started to paint them. So this is the painting. And this is a photo. And this is the painting. And this is the same piece of rope, but this is done on the iPad. So on the iPad there are, you know, infinite kind of possibilities how you can manipulate the ropes completely into different forms. And I put them in desolate landscapes. And this is another one. Thank you so much, Nina.